Thank you for joining me for this full-length Pilates Reformer class today. We're working on the muscles that support us during our balance work. Balance isn't a skill that you suddenly develop by trying to stand on one leg. You have to develop the muscles to support your balance work a lot of times as well. So we're going to begin. I already have my long box on the machine. I have my headrest up, my handles are on, and I have one blue spring on my machine that is one light spring for my springs. I don't work in half springs. So to begin, we're going to come around to the front of the machine. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my foot bar down one because I like to get a little more movement in on my cat-cow. Make sure that your box is centered in your machine. We're going to step back about an inch or two away from the end of my machine. I am in a Pilates V position. I'm squeezing my glutes to open up the front of my hip flexor, standing up nice and tall, squeezing the bottom tips of my shoulder blades gently, wrapping my ribs from my abdominals up and in. Nice wide shoulder blades, nice flat collarbones. I'm already trying to find a neutral spine. I'm going to inhale my arms up. Don't allow your ribs to flare here and your booty to go back. We're going to dive down with our biceps by our ears. I'm going to find the front corners of my box, and from here I'm going to cat-cow. I'm going to snake my body up. So my head's going to be the first thing to begin to pull in to the cow, and then my tailbone's going to be the last thing to pop up. I'm going to allow the box to press my shoulder blades down away from my ears. I'm going to begin by tucking my tail, drawing my abdominals up and in, squeezing my glutes over the front of my hip flexors, and pulling the box back, 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 until it taps the bumper. Squeeze under your arms to pull your shoulders away from your ears. Now begin to press out, using your abdominals to move the box, articulating through your spine. Tail is the last thing to go up to reach the ceiling. Now tuck your tail, squeeze your glutes, pull through your spine. Head's the last thing to drop. And now begin with your head. Roll or snake through your body to your tail. Squeeze your tail, articulate up, 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 up. And move your head. The first couple times my thighs have reached forward because I've not had as much control. I'm totally okay with that, obviously, because I did it. But now let's try to use our glutes and our standing supports a little bit more, our legs, as we try to find support from there and just articulate through our body. Let's do one more. Abs up and in, wrapping the ribs the whole time, and back up. From there, I'm going to take my left hand. I can see my middle spring, I have 5 springs, splitting in the middle of my box. I'm going to bring my hand to the outside edge of it. I don't want my thumb to cross over the middle line of my machine. I'm going to dangle my right hand down into the well, and then I'm going to press it out to a flat back, bring my arm to a T, and rotate my body to the right side while I try to leave my hips square. I'm going to bring my hand back down as I tuck my tail, bring the carriage back to the bumper, snaking my body again. I'm going to articulate back out to a flat back, bring my arm to a T, and rotate. Come back down, tuck my tail and lift. One more, and reach, and flat back, and rotate, and flat back, and tuck my tail and lift. Place your other hand on the box, float your hand down towards the well, press it out to a flat back, bring your arm to a T, and then rotate to the left side, abs up and in, come back down, tuck your tail and lift, and press it out to a flat back, bring your arm out, and rotate. It's hard here to keep your hips square, guys. Let's do the best we can, right? Again, don't let that right hand cross over the midline, and out, and rotate, and back down, and come back up. From there, we're going to stand up tall. I'm going to hinge at the hips to bring my body forward in a flat back position, trying up and in on my abs, squeezing in on my ribs. I'm going to bring my feet to parallel. I'm going to tuck my tail ever so gently because I don't want to Pooh Bear my abs out and sway in my low back. This is a plank style position with our bodies. We want to squeeze under the arm. So we're not pulling the box in, but using underneath our arms and our lats, we're pressing down and keeping the box into the bumper. From there, I'm going to take my right foot, leaving my foot flexed. I'm going to bend my knee so it's in a 90-degree bend from my calf to my thigh. Without swaying in my low back again, I'm going to squeeze my glutes to lift my foot up and lower. Don't change the degree of bend in your knee. We're just pulsing to wake up our glutes. And inhale. Good. Nothing in your body's moving. Just the squeeze in your tush, where your thigh and your glutes meet. Good. Now bring it back down. Now without crunching in your obliques, we're gonna lift our foot up to the side and lower knee back down. So don't bring your knee forward or back. Just a nice lateral movement. Waking up the outer glutes. Now, if your hips splay a little bit, that's fine. Try to keep your shoulders as square as possible. Still squeezing in on the underarms. In Pilates, it is said that the hardest part of your body that's working is the part that's not moving. For me, my standing leg is getting the majority of this workout. Now we're gonna do some nice hip swivels or circles. So I'm just gonna squeeze my glutes to the back, bring it to the side, in line with my thigh stop, and then bring my knee right down. So we're combining both of those movements in a little hip swivel. Good. Back. Tuck the tail slightly. Shoulders away from your ears. Nice long neck. Good. Now we're going to reverse. We're going to bring it out to the side. Squeeze it to the back. Bring it to parallel first, and then slide it down. To the side, back to parallel. Square your hips and down. So splay, square, down. Try my hips here. One more. Bring your foot to the ground. Give your hips a little shake. Good. Bend your left knee, bringing it to a 90-degree bend in the back. Reestablish your neutral spine. A slight gentle tuck so you're not swaying out in your low back, and pulse your glute back. Don't go like this to lift your foot up. Just a little lift. It's not going to feel like it's going as high as you want it to or as high as you think it should. Really work those abs here, guys. Really work those muscles in the ribs. One more. And now we're going to bring it to the side. Splay your hips slightly. Leave your shoulders square. Do not crunch your obliques to get your knee up. It's all outer glute work. Imagine your dog peeing on a fire hydrant. I really don't like the image, but you know, it's very effective. One more. And now the hip swivels. Bring your foot back in parallel, splay your hip to the side, and bring your knee straight down. Back, side, down. Try to make it a little bit more fluid, but don't allow the movement to go wild. Now bring it to the side, back to parallel square hips, and down. To the side, square your hips, and down. Good. And good. Now, stand it up, shake it out. We're gonna come over to the box. We have one blue one right now. We're gonna go, or one light spring. We're gonna go ahead and change to one medium spring. On my box, it is one, on my machine, that's one red spring. We're gonna carefully sit down. If you have any neck problems, if you suffer from vertigo, if you don't like the height, please feel free to do this next part of the class on the floor. So, we are going to come down onto our backs. The tip tops of our shoulder blades, or the tip tops of our shoulders, are going to be off the box. I am going to interlace my fingers, place them at the base of the skull on my neck. My thumbs are long down my neck. I'm going to come to a nice tabletop position. I am supporting myself in a neutral spine here. I'm going to press my legs out to a frog position, and I'm going to press them away from my body. I'm not fully extended. I'm not fully in a frog. I'm halfway in a diamond position. From there, I'm going to see that neutral spine go curl. I'm going to lower my left leg an inch and exhale to left. And right leg and left and left. Try not to swing your legs or use momentum. Your carriage will bump and pull away from the bumper if you do that. Good. One more and stop. Now both legs 1 inch and left. It'll go not as far as you would have with a single leg because the load is greater, right? And now curl up. Now lower your right leg and bring your underarm to your left leg and back. Lower your left leg, bring your left underarm to your right leg and back. So a diamond elbow to knee variation. Don't allow your back hip to shift. Ooh, my left hip is loving to shift lately. So I'm really gonna pull down and I'm really gonna rotate more from my upper body. Good. Now we go 5, extend your arms down towards your hips. We're here for the hundreds in the diamond position. We're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice long continuous inhale. And exhale. Squeeze your heels strongly together to engage your inner thighs. Now rotate your femur in the hip socket to really engage the glutes. Drop your belly to your spine. Stabilize your sacrum so the back hip bones all the way to your tailbone are flat. Wrap your ribs and draw your ribs towards your hips. We're going to lift our chin off of our chest as if there was an apple, an orange, an egg underneath our chin. We don't want to crush them. Squeeze under your arms just like at the beginning of class and pump vigorously with straight hands. Don't wing your fingers up to the ceiling. Let's do 2 more, so let's count. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw your knees into your chest. Rest your head in your hands and rest back. If you have the capability to do this, please feel free to do a nice little back extension off the back. If it bothers you, please find another way to rest. If you're on the mat, rest with your body flat on the mat, legs up. We're going to bring our legs back to tabletop. Bring your spine back to neutral. Press your legs out to the diamond position. We're going to do the diamond movements 1 more time. So lower your left leg an inch or 2 and left. And right leg. And left. Ooh, I can feel it this time, right? 3. Make sure you're keeping that neutral spine. You're not flaring in your ribs. Final set. And we're going to move on to double leg lower left. Still rotating that femur in the hip socket. And down and exhale. Make sure your ribs aren't popping on this one. One more. Now, curl it up. Now, elbow to knee. Drop your left leg an inch and rotate and lift. And now, whichever side you're lifting on, make sure you're really controlling. Here's 2. Curl up deeper. Here's 3. We're only going to 5. Really squeeze those heels together in the middle. 1 more. Let's go ahead and draw our knees in. Take 1 more rest. All right. Now very carefully, bring yourself up to sitting. There's not a lot of weight on the machine. Try not to swing around, rock yourself off the box. Roll to your side, press yourself up to sitting. We're going to come up. We're going to bring our foot bar back up. For me, where my foot bar normally is in the middle position. We are going to be doing Swan here on the box. So I'm going to place 1 hand on the foot bar, other hand on the foot bar. Swing 1 leg up, swing the other leg up. I have a nice squeeze in my glutes to open the front of my hip flexors, drawing up and in on my abdominals, wrapping my ribs. I have nice wide hands on the shoulder bars, squeezing under my arms. I'm going to press out on the inhale. Exhale to lift. Inhale to press back. And exhale to come across the foot bar. So inhale. Keep your ribs wrapped the whole time to protect your low back. Squeeze your inner thighs together. If you feel it in your low back, draw your abdominals up and in. Squeeze under your arms. Nice long neck. Think of yourself as pulling forward. This is our final one. Now from there, I'm going to place my hands on the foot bar, make my hands into a pillow. I'm going to shimmy back slightly until my forehead's resting on my hands. From there, with extremely straight legs, just by squeezing my glutes, I'm going to float my left leg up and lower. Don't shift in the hips across the front of the box. 2 more. This is a lot like the diamond series that we just did. We're going to do the right leg now for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now both legs, 5, 4, abs up and in, 3, wrap your ribs, 2, 1, leave them up there, and now tiny swims. Inhale and exhale. Squeeze your inner thighs. 1 more. Now, release your legs real fast. Give them a shake out. Wobble them from side to side. Release through your legs and glutes. Find the position again. Abs up and in. Ribs wrapped. Nice long neck. Squeezing inner thighs. Float your right leg up and lower. And 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and lower, and other leg for 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, halfway there, and both legs, and 2. Don't sway out in your low back, sinking your belly to get here. Really squeeze, woo, and squeeze it up, stay there, and tiny swims, inhale, and exhale. Here's 3. We have 2 more breath cycles. 1 more. Stop, release everything. Woo, really shake it out. 1 leg out to the side, other leg off. We're going to be working a pulling strap series. So, my handles are on. I still have 1 medium spring on, that is 1 red spring on my machine. I'm double checking my box to make sure it's in the middle. Again, I'm going to get on by placing 1 hand in the corner, 1 hand in the corner, 1 leg, 1 leg. We're going to be doing this series in the frog leg position. So, I'm not sinking in and tenting my hips. I'm still squeezing my glutes to open up the front of my hip flexors. My knees are no wider than my box, but my heels are together. My toes are apart. I have a 90-degree bend from my thigh to my calf, just like we did when we warmed up with donkey kicks for our glutes in the beginning of class. I've scooted up so that where my sternum and 12th rib meet, or my bra strap, is at the very edge of the box. I'm going to place my handles on like they're bracelets, choke up on the straps, place my hands on the top of the machine, now float them to the side. I'm going to inhale to pull back, and exhale to release forward. I'm going to be doing this in a neutral spine today. Really trying to keep a nice long neck. Don't lose the squeeze in your glutes, and make your thighs light. Here's 7, and here's 8. Stay there, and now bend at the elbows, and straighten for a tricep press. Wrap your ribs, belly button up and in, just like a swan body position. Now, stay there, and now we're going to stamp our right foot up and lower. 2, 3, just your glutes, no shifting across the hips. Now left leg, 5, and stamp 4, stamp 3, stamp 2, stamp 1. Connect your heels, both feet up for 5. Don't sway in your low back, just squeeze your glutes. 2, 1, and float your arms forward. Take your hands out of the bracelets or handles. We're going to hold on to the metal rings, or one of my teachers, Audrey Severs, taught me once to put the ring around your thumb like a thumb ring and then hook it slightly. This is my favorite position for pulling straps in the T. So I'm going to bring my arms out to a T, squeeze under my arms, My arms are not higher than my body. I'm gonna squeeze, 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 and release forward. I squeeze with my palms flat to the mat as long as I can before I flip my palms into my hips. That's so I'm not rounding in my shoulders. So I really want to tweeze the bottom tips of my shoulder blades until my hands won't come in any further. All right, one more. And then we're gonna stand at our hips. And we're gonna pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's pulse our feet up again for right for 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1, and left for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze under your arms now, both for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your arms to a T. Come into the bumper. Peg your straps. Extend your legs. Reach your arms long, long wide. Lower your head. Relax over the box if it's available to you. Nice, press yourself up. Release your low body. If you prefer, you can come up to the side, come to sitting on the box. Come to a child's pose position. Reach your arms out to the wood. No, I don't like that as much as extending over the box, but I know that a lot of people really do. Good. From there, we're going to carefully come up off to the side. We're going to get rid of our box. We're going to come to one light spring, which is one glute. We're going to be doing some ab work. Facing the riser, so I drop my headrest. I'm going to come to sitting on my carriage. My toes are facing the back. I have my feet in the headrest. My toes are off, my heels are on. I'm going to find my straps. I'm going to flip my palms up, draw my shoulders up and down. My arms are not together. I have my arms in a low V. My arms are a little wider than the riser because I'm really concentrating on drawing my shoulder blades flat across the back by tweezing the very bottom tips of my shoulder blades. From there, I'm going to inhale, tuck my tail, squeeze under my arms so my shoulders don't run in, and articulate back. I'm not coming all the way down. I'm not going to be able to maintain that on my arm work. I'm going to come back up, articulate up, and strong rib to hip connection here. So when I come down, I'm tucking, I'm drawing my ribs towards my hips. I'm keeping that connection as I articulate. Good. Let's do one more and stay there. And now we're going to bicep curl. So leave your biceps where they are. Just draw your hands towards your shoulders and then extend and curl. Ribs to hips. Don't flat back, guys. Really round forward. Good. We're going to 10. This is more ab work than anything else, so we're really maintaining here. One more. Extend your arms fully. Articulate up to sitting tall. From there, we're going to flip our palms down to the ground. Still nice and wide. We're not rounding them together. Inhale, exhale, tuck our tail. Articulate back. Now, instead of thinking of just drawing your hands towards your underarms or your bra strap or where 12th rib meets your sternum for rowing, think of tweezing the bottom tips of your shoulder blades and releasing. More chest expansion than pulling. Don't bring your chest forward. Really maintain that C-shaped curve. The more abdominal work you do, the less hip flexor will be happening. So if your heels begin to feel light, bring your articulation up a couple inches. See if you can really re-establish that abdominal connection with the ribs wrapping, the rib to hip connection, sinking of the belly, and then continue the rowing. We're going to cross our straps, working a different part of our shoulder, palms still to the ground. Inhale, exhale, tuck our tail, roll back, and squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. and squeeze. My face itches, sorry. Don't pull up to do this. Pull down on the bottom tips of your blades. More abs. I can feel my hip flexors starting to kick in a little bit. The waist light, it's a lot of work, guys. Use more abs here, though. Articulate back up. Now, uncross your straps. Palms to face each other. Nice wide shoulder blades down. We're going to tuck our tail, roll back. Now, I have a nice little bend in my elbows. Open to a T. Squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades still, guys. So a lot of that underarm back work here while we work our abs. Keep that connection. Nice long neck. On this next one, stay out of the T. Now pulse back and back and back. Don't lose that C-shaped curve. Starting to feel the burn now. Good. One more. Bring it forward, then articulate up. We're going to be doing some flat back work next. We're only going to be doing some tricep lifts here from a 90-degree bend in our elbow, which is where we're going to begin. It'll look a lot like rowing two that my trainer Katie Rowley taught me. So I'm going to sit up tall. I'm going to bring my arms to a 90-degree. When I did that, my straps are connected in a way that I pulled away slightly from the bumper of the carriage. Now I'm going to flat back, lean back, not change my arm, and come back up. And inhale back. And exhale left. And inhale back. Drop my abs to my hips. I'm hinging back from a nice straight line, reaching my head over the wall on the ceiling, trying to grow taller. On this next one, we're going to stay back. And we're going to lift an inch and lower an inch. And lift and lower. Don't move your body. Abs to spine. Imagine you're in a peony knee press. And it's hinged backwards. Ooh, I feel that rib wrap really fighting me. And come up to sitting tall. From here, we're going to be doing some teaser work. You can do it with your feet on the shoulder block before you lift your legs the whole time. You can do it with your feet in tabletop. You can do it with your feet extended. But to begin, we're all going to start with our feet on the shoulder block. I've scooted forward all the way so that my booties are right up near my shoulder blocks. Arms are forward. I'm going to tuck my tail. I'm going to roll all the way back. Don't put your head in the well if you have long hair. It's going to get stuck in the spring and it's going to hurt. I'm going to flip my palms up to the ceiling. Nice wide collarbone. Tuck my tail. It's one blue spring, so it's not a lot of help, guys. And lift it up. I'm going to do another variation where I begin to tuck my tail, roll back. I'm going to drop my knees into tabletop. If you want to rest your knees on the headrest, you can. From there, I'm going to inhale. You can continue with the feet in the headrest or the tabletop variation. Otherwise, I'm going to add on from here, leave my feet in teaser, tuck my tail, squeeze my inner thighs as I roll back, leave my feet in the teaser position. I'm going to articulate up, come up to sitting tall. I'm going to rest my feet in the headrest from there, peg my straps, press back. Don't press off the back of your carriage, right? Because that would not be beneficial. Bring my feet to a wide diamond. My feet are connected in the center. You might have to go with your legs around the shoulder blocks depending on your body shape. I'm going to inhale up. Exhale over my legs. To take a couple nice deep breaths. Guys, I know this is the middle to end of class, but we are going to move on to footwork from here. So, footwork is excellent for the balance muscles, right? I use 4 springs personally for myself on my footwork. I use 3 heavies, 1 medium. I have seen people use 2 heavies, 1 medium. I would like to see you use 3 to 4 heavier springs for this footwork. Your body's already warm. You're gonna do great. Pop up your headrest if you prefer. Get a neck or cervical pillow if you'd like for this. We're going to come down onto our sides. It should be kind of easy to find the neutral spine by now. We have been working it this whole time in various positions. I'm going to bring my feet into a Pilates V position, not the regular footwork Pilates V position like you would normally do, but to a high heel Pilates V position. My knees are tracking over my big toes. I'm not going to move anything other than creasing and uncreasing of my hip flexors to straighten above my legs. I'm going to inhale and press out all the way and exhale to come back in. Rotating the femur and the hip socket the entire time. I'm going to feel the wrap of the thigh muscle from the inside of my knee to the outside of my hip. I'm going to squeeze my glutes to open up the front of my hip flexors like we've been working. No tucking though, so don't imprint your spine. Keep a nice neutral spine. Here's 9. And 10. From there, I'm going to slide down into my heels, bring my knees into a nice parallel position. I'm going to separate my feet just so my heels are directly underneath my sits bones. I'm going to find that nice neutral spine again, and it's as if I was standing up and sitting down in a chair from against a wall. I'm going to press it out and bring it back in, pulling my toes back over my knees strongly the entire time. Nice wide shoulder blades. Nice neutral spine. Nice long neck. Sinking my belly button towards my spine. Imagine your belly is made of warm butter. I love butter. And imagine there's a marble right in the center of your belly button. When you put the marble in, it's sinking all the way down to your spine. Good. One more. Now, keeping that flexed foot position, we're going to slide our feet to a wide Pilates V on the outside edges of the foot bar. Now, rotate the femur and hip socket, feel the wrap from the inside of your knee to the outside of your hips on those thigh muscles, and press it out. Really find a nice weight in your sacrum on this one. I can find a really great weight in my sacrum from my tailbone all the way to the backs of my hip bones here. I'm keeping a nice lift in my low back from between the tops of my hip bones to the back of my bottom of my 12th row. I really platform my shoulder blades on the mat. One more. Good. From there, we're going to bring our feet back to parallel, squeeze our legs together in the center, come to a high heel position or a demi point on the ball of the foot, and from there, with a nice heavy sacrum, we're going to press it out, squeeze our glutes slightly to open up our hip flexors, and come back in. This is the heaviest our springs have been, because even on the Pilates V position, they were not quite as heavy as they are right now. We get that extra little inch here. Keep your ribs wrapped as if you were wearing a corset. Good. One out and in, and then we're going to press out, and we're going to do trotting and the double heel lower lift. And so press it out. Now, drop your left heel under as your right knee comes over the foot bar. Stay here for a second for a nice calf stretch. Now lift both feet back up. Both legs are fully extended. You're going to drop your right heel under. Your left knee is going to come over the foot bar. As we trot, we want to make sure that we come all the way up before we lower the left heel. And up, and then lower the right heel. So the emphasis is on the up, and up, and up, and up. Try not to bounce, but make sure you're squeezing up. Here's 7, and up, and 8, and up, and 9, and up. Final set, and up. Now both heels lower, 2, 3, and lift. 2, 3, and lower, and lift, lower, lift. Equal time down, equal time up, no bouncing. Good. Here's 9. One more. And up. Now lower down. Give yourself a micro bend in your knees. Go and release your legs a little bit. Resist the springs as you come back in. We're going to roll over onto our sides. We're going to press ourselves up to sitting. I'm going to drop over to 2 heavy springs for single leg work. I hope you'll meet me with that for single leg work, but if that's not for you, how about 1 medium, 1 heavy, right? We're going to roll down onto our backs one more time. Our single leg work is going to be on our heels. So bring your heels right under your sits bones. I'm going to float my left leg up to tabletop, and I'm going to press it out and come back in. As you press out and come back in, don't let your hips tight. Keep them completely even. So the work is mainly coming from the back of the leg. Really stretch it out. You are squeezing your glute to stretch out across the hip flexor. You are using the front of your thigh. But think of the work as really coming from back there, so there's no popping. 2 more. 1 more. Now come back in. Now rotate both feet so you're in Pilates feet position. If you want, you can bring your foot down. Now float it back up to tabletop. And now press and back in. This is a little bit harder for some people, or maybe the parallel is a little bit harder. Either way, make sure you're not hiking your hips or lowering them or shifting as you do this work. Here's 6. We have the single leg work on the other side, and then we're going to go ahead and move on. 8, 9, 1 more, 10. Come back in. Now, bring your feet down. Go ahead and point, flex them a little bit. Release the front of that shin if you need to. We're going to bring our feet right here. We're going to flex them back. Float that right foot up to tabletop, and now press out. It's going to feel a little different on the left leg now. Make sure you're not hiking your hips or shifting to press out and in. You might just go a little bit slower at first, right? I know I am. Here's 3. Really find that work in the back of the leg. Find your breath. And hit the hollow hip connection as if there was a bowl sitting in between your hips. Got a nice tabletop leg. 1 more. Good. Now, rotate your Pilates. See, again, if you need to, go ahead and bring both feet down. Float that right foot up, and now begin to press. Again, make sure you're not shifting the hips as you do this. I know I love to shift. I'm on my left side. The left side loves to do crazy things. Find that wrap at the inside of the thigh, for the thigh muscle, from the inside of the knee to the outside of the hip. Good. Here's 7, 8, 9, 1 more. Good. Now come back in, place your foot down, go ahead and wiggle out the front of those feet, tap your toes around, shake your legs. We're going to come up to sitting tall. From here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to long stretch work. So, I'm going to place 1 medium and 1 light spring on my machine. That is 1 red and 1 blue. I'm ready to come up to standing. We're going to be working with our toes tapped, our heels pressing into the shoulder blocks on this. Normally I work with my toes in the headrest. Place a hand, bring a knee on, bring a knee on. Now, tap your toes in front of your shoulder blocks. Sit back. Squeeze down on your underarms. Draw up and in on your abdominals. Wrap your ribs. Don't sway out your low back. So remember that slight little tug of the tailbone that we had earlier? We're going to keep that the entire series, and we're going to press out with a flat back until our underarms are over our hands for a knee plank, and press it back to sitting back on our heels, and press it forward to the plank on your knees. Now make sure you're not going like this, right? So tuck your tail ever so slightly, and back, and press, and sit back. As you press forward, squeeze under your arms to keep the carriage in a bumper. Stay here, long, knee long stretch back, and pull it back across. And inhale back, And exhale forward. Squeeze your glutes. Wrap your ribs. If you have any problems, place a towel or a pad under your knees for this. Now stay here. And now, really squeeze in, squeeze down, and press back into a plank. Now tap your knees and lift. This is very hard. If you want to stay on the sit back on your heels and lift, you should. Here's 4, and down on the knees, and 5, stay up. Now long stretch, press back, and pull back across until your underarms are over your wrists. And press, and exhale. And inhale. Leave your ribs wrapped. That slight tuck in your tail so you're not swaying at your low back. If you feel it in your low back, you're dropping to that belly, right? Good. Now come back across. Bring your knees down. Sit back on your heels. Now, we're gonna walk our knees forward ever so gently. We're gonna tuck our tail and lift up into a pike as we bring our feet down for elephant. So, put the weight between your big toe, your baby toe in, and the little point on your heel, the little middle point. Now tuck your tail and round up, looking between your thighs. Now press back, keeping it round back, and pull it forward. As you pull it forward, imagine you're being punched in your stomach and lift up even more. Leave your ears between your biceps. Here's 9. 1 more. Good. And now we're going to come to a flat back position. In the flat back, we still have a slight little tuck of our tail, so we're not swaying out in our back, right? We still have a little lift in our tail. We have a nice long stretch. We're going to feel this a little bit more in our hamstrings. Probably going to press back and soft forward and back. Try to keep your biceps between your ears a little bit more. Wrap your ribs. Belly button up to spine. Here's 9 and 10. Good. Now staying here, don't lean in to the foot bar. Use it for support. Place your weight in your right foot and bring that left foot up to an arabesque in a square hip position. My foot is flexed here. I'm going to lower that foot down and squeeze it up. Square hips. Try not to move your upper body. Now, from here, I'm going to rotate my feet. I'm going to rotate to a splayed hip position, trying to leave my shoulders as square as possible. And then I'm going to swing it back from the side, squaring my hips. Similar to the warm-up exercise we did, but adding on, right? Don't lean in to the foot bar for dear life. Press away from the foot bar. Now keeping your foot to the back, 10 small circles in each direction. 6 and 7, I only got halfway there. 8, 9, 10, square your hips, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your foot down. Bring your left foot in front of the left shoulder block, or the shoulder block where that foot goes, right? We're going to place our weight in our left foot. Bring our right foot back into a square hip arabesque. Same series as leg. Lower and then lift. Press away from the foot bar. And now leaving your foot up, we're going to begin to rotate the foot to the side, splaying our hips slightly, leaving our shoulders square, and bring it back, square your hips. Splay your hips, square your hips. 1 more. And now we're going to do 10 small circles in each direction with our heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring your foot down. Hold on to the foot bar. Step off to one side. Step the other foot off. Release your hands. From there, we are going to do an arabesque series to the side of the machine, standing. If you are not comfortable with this, you can stand at the side of the machine. Don't use your foot strap. Just hold on and do the series without the weight. But I'm going to make sure that I only have one blue spring on, one light spring, because this is going to be a little heavier. And I'm going to change my handles over for my foot straps. If you have your double loops on, you don't have to worry about that. I'm not a fan of the double loops, unfortunately. So I'm going to stand so my legs are in line with my shoulder blocks. With my outside foot, I'm going to take one step forward and I'm going to place it so my leg is pressing in to the frame of, or I'm going to make it so my leg will be pressing into the frame. I'm going to take the loop, place it on my inside foot, step down on it. Then place your foot on the inside. However you need to get into it is great. Guys, we're going to do what we can. We're going to place our hands under our shoulders. Our fingers are all going to be pointing to the outside of the frame so that we don't slice them off, right? Now bring your foot up, tap it to the top of the frame, square your hips, squeeze your leg up, and lower it. This is the same series that we just did on the carriage with our hands on the foot bar. Now leave your leg up. Now bring it to the side as much as you can, and then squeeze it back. Use your leg pressing into the frame to square your hips to give you stabilization. To the side and to the back. Really wrap your ribs. Try not to use your obliques too much. Try to use your glutes and your hip muscles. Now 10 small circles in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My hips splay more when my feet are on the ground for the ropes, guys. That's natural. Try not to allow them to go fully to the side and get your back all weird though. 3. So try not to do this and throw you off balance. A little bit of splaying is natural though. Now bring your foot down. Step into the strap. Step back. Carefully remove the strap. Don't lift your foot up and fall over because you got caught in the strap. We're going to go to the other side. Guys, after this we're going to be doing feet and straps. It's going to be single foot, feet and straps, but it's feet and straps, right? So I've lined up my legs with the shoulder blocks. This is an awkward situation. I'm going to take a step forward. I'm going to find the strap, step on it, bring my leg, my left leg, to press against the frame. I'm going to bring my hands down under my shoulders. They're lined up. My fingers are pointing to the outside of the frame so I don't soft my fingers. I'm going to bring my foot up, tap it to the frame, draw my abs up and in, wrap my ribs, lift and lower. Try to keep a nice long neck. Now lift your foot up, now bring it to the side as much as you can and swing it to the back. Try not to lose connection with your leg and the frame. So try not to shift your weight too much. And one more. And squeeze it back. Use your inner thighs. Now 10 small circles in each direction. 3, 4, 5. Really feel it in the standing leg. And reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring your foot to the floor that has the strap. Step on the strap. Carefully remove your foot from the strap. Repeg it. Great job, guys. We're going to come down onto our carriage. Make sure you only have one light spring on. Lift up your headrest if you would like. We're going to start with the left leg first. We're going to place your foot in the strap. Bring both feet into a frog. Squeeze your heels together strongly. Don't allow your heels to disconnect. Press it and pull it. We're only going to 5. Because we're going to do 5 on each side, right? Squeeze right here. I think that's 5. We're going to go ahead and stop right here. We're going to extend our legs up to the ceiling. We're going to do scissors. Try not to make them too big. Try to make them pretty small. Because we're going to add helicopter on after this. And with one foot in the strap, you're going to really feel your hips shift if your helicopter is too wide. So nice, small, tight scissors right now. Okay, this is our final set of just scissors. Now we're gonna start our helicopter scissors. So we're gonna switch our legs, half circle in each direction. And now switch your legs, half circle helicopter. Try to control the shifting on your hips. I find that my first side of the one foot strap helicopter is way better looking than the second side, all the time. All right, guys, so we're gonna place our foot without the strap on the foot bar, press it straight. Remove that strap. My left foot had the strap, so I'm gonna place that on the foot bar, draw my right foot in, place the strap on, press that leg out, bring both feet into a frog. Don't a lot of shifting in your hips, right guys? So press and pull. A lot of inner thigh work here actually. A lot of abdominal connection, neutral spine work. Here's 4. And here's 5. Pull it back in. Extend your legs up to the ceiling. Small scissors for 1. Move the scissors of the leg strap from the glutes and hamstring. Don't allow any tucking to occur. You don't want to move the leg by lifting that hip. Good. You want to shoot long energy out of your toes. Let's do one more set and then let's begin the helicopters. All right, guys, so here it is. So switch, half circle. Slow it down a little bit on the first one so you can make sure you're not shifting. Switch, half circle. Switch, half circle. Maintain that neutral spine and switch, half circle. 2 more. Half circle. And switch, half circle. Bind that foot bar with your left leg. Press that left leg straight. Take your foot out. I know we're doing both leg footwork, but our feet straps, but we need to change our spring tension. My spring tension for this is going to be my spring tension that I use for short spine. If you have any back issues, please do, or neck issues, please do not do short spine. Otherwise, for short spine, I use 1 medium, 1 light on my machine that is 1 red, 1 blue. I'm going to come down to my back. I'm going to drop the headrest. Don't forget to drop your headrest. We're going to go ahead and do it now so we don't have to try to do it for short spine. I'm going to locate my straps, press one leg straight, press the strap in, straighten that leg, put the other strap in. And let's bring it into a frog. Nice neutral spine, nice heavy tailbone. Press it out for 10 and 9. Find that inner thigh work still. Find that abdominal core work. Don't shift your sacrum. Here's 9 and 10. Good. Straighten the legs up to the ceiling. We're going to do 5 circles in each direction. Separate and squeeze and lift through the center and separate and squeeze down and lift. 3, 4, and 5, and lift. And now squeeze down your hamstrings and glutes to the middle. Separate your legs and squeeze them together and squeeze down and separate and lift. 3, 4, 1 more, 5, and lower. Guys, bring it into a frog. Scooch away from the shoulder rest slightly. Make sure your headrest is down. Press it out to working level. Pike at the hips, tuck your tail, and lift. Bring your feet down to a frog, a high frog. Now, begin to articulate down. Leave your feet where they are on the air. Don't move them. So you're going to get a nice hamstring stretch as you come down. When you've gone down as far as you can, hamstring curl your heels towards your glutes. Press out to working level. Pike of the hips, articulate up, 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 pressing into your triceps, bend into a high frog, articulate down, leave your feet where they are in space, and then hamstring curl, press, and lift, and articulate up. Use the articulation down, so you should be able to move your head from side to side. Don't roll up on your neck, as a hamstring stretch. Articulate, down, 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 hamstring curl, press, articulate up and lift. Squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze your heels, bring it down to a high frog. Articulate, down, 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 down. Hamstring curl. If you're looking for a challenge, bring your arms up to a V, platform your shoulder blades down, wrap your ribs, don't arch them, press out to working level, pike at your hips, articulate up. If you feel as if you can't do this carefully and with control, please platform your arms, bring your knees down towards the shoulder blocks, articulate down, 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 down. Nice hamstring stretch. Draw your knees in, or draw your feet into your heels. Now, we're going to stretch on the left leg first. So we're going to take our right foot out, peg your strap, bring your foot out to the ceiling. We're going to be doing the ballet stretches. So drop your heel underneath the foot bar on your right foot, and then begin to bend your knee. Don't let your hips shift. So you want to keep square hips. And you want to keep a nice, heavy sacrum. So when you feel it start to tuck, stretch it out a little bit. Really find that stretch in the back of the leg. Now press it out without lifting your hip. Bring your foot across the midline of your body, and then bend your knee. My knee went to the side slightly to match this leg, right? That's how my body likes it. I'm still getting a nice IT band stretch. If you need a little bit extra, reach up to the black tape. Don't pull on it, but just put a little bit of weight on it. Make your sacrum super heavy. Press it out. Turn both feet out. Begin to bend in, bringing the foot to the outside of the body. Don't bring it out so far that this hip floats up. You want to keep your feet completely grounded and bring it out to the side. Nice straight leg. Don't shift your hips up. Square your hips off again. Now, press out with your right leg. If you do not have any hip or back issues, take your foot, bend it, bring your right leg across your thigh, right above your knee. Don't put it on your knee, but you want to cross above your ankle on your calf or your shin bone, and then bring your knee, bend it in. My rope is on the inside of my knee so that my knee doesn't go wonky to the side and I can keep it more lined up. Don't tuck your tail, and find a figure 4 stretch here. Really, if you feel your tail start to stretch up, press into your heel to press out a little bit more. Good. Now extend that left leg, release your right foot to the foot bar, bend your knee, come in, press out on your left leg, put the strap on your right foot up to the ceiling, drop your right heel under, and then begin to bend, or your left heel under, begin to bend that left leg to get that nice hamstring stretch. If you feel like you're stretching too much or you're tucking your tail, press in through that left leg. Good job, guys. Now, press it out, bring the leg across the midline, leaving that right hip on the mat. Come into the IT band stretch. If you need a little bit more, place your fingers on the tape. Don't yank it, just give it a little weight. It will really increase the stretch. Really straighten that leg as well. Straighten that left leg, turn both feet out, bend that left leg, don't shift your hips, bring that right leg up to the outside of the body. A different stretch if you need a little bit more. Place your fingers on the tape for a little bit more weight, really straighten that leg, all of that stuff. Ooh, I'm really feeling it in this leg. Do a great job, guys. Now, straighten that right leg down to working level. Bring your left leg above the ankle, bring it across your thigh. Now, bring the strap in to the inside of your knee. Leave your sacrum completely flat and bend into a figure four stretch. Again, this is if you have no hip problems, no hip replacement, no low back problems. Anything or knee problems, probably not a great place to be. Don't do this stretch for that. Now, straighten your right leg, release your left leg, find the foot bar, take your foot out of the trap, bring the carriage into the bumper, come up to sitting, inhale, arms wide over your head, and exhale, lower down. Thanks for joining me for class, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, but I hope you have a great day. Thank you.